As most of you are well aware, HP recently had a fire sale on its TouchPad series of tablets. They were selling off the 16 gigabyte version for $99.99 and the 32 gigabyte version for $149.99. Now, admittedly, I wasn't able to find one for $99.99 at any retail stores because by the time I found out about it, all of them were pretty much gone and out of stock. But I did manage to come across one on Craigslist, and I talked the seller down to $200. So, this video here will be a review on, really whether or not this tablet itself is worth the price tag of $200, or if some of you are able to still find one for $99.99, which I'll tell you, most likely you're not going to be able to find one. But even at $200, is this tablet actually worth that purchase price? Let's go ahead and jump right into the review. So what I want to show you guys right off the bat is what you get if you purchase this tablet right out of the box. It does feel a little bit plasticky, but that's kind of to be expected just the way that this is designed. Overall, the weight of it is really nice. It is a fingerprint magnet, so it's kind of understandable the way this glossy finish is. You're just going to get a lot of smudges and whatnot. I don't know if you guys could pick that up with the light, but the weight of the product is actually really well done. It's a little bit heavy, but to me that actually makes it feel a little bit more like it's a sturdy product. So as far as the build quality, I don't feel like this is something that's going to break down. Now, I have read in different forums and everything, people having problems with the screen cracking around the edges and things like that. I haven't experienced any of that myself, so I can't comment on whether or not that is a factor. But with the comments out there on different forums and whatnot, it may be a problem down the line. I just can't say for sure myself. Now, what you do have is the tablet itself. It does come with Beats speakers built into it, so the sound quality is great. The layout of the buttons are as so. You have the power button on the top here of the unit. Right below that, if you guys can make out, you have a little camera, a front-facing camera. You have a toggle button for the volume, which is very responsive, a little bit clicky, but very responsive. You have a button down here, which you guys won't be able to tell is there through this camera, and that's basically the home button, which you may or may not ever use because of the way that this WebOS system is built. And other than that, you do have the micro USB port down at the bottom for charging and for syncing to your computer, and you do have a headphone jack right here on the back. Standard fare. You have the HP logo and just some other different information down here on the bottom. Let me go ahead and power this thing on, or just take it off from standby mode and show you guys. Now, the one thing I'll definitely say is that the screen is really, really beautiful as far as the clarity, the vibrance, just the colors, really well done. And you slide up the unlock bar or the unlock button to open it up. Now, in terms of functionality of WebOS itself, I would say that it's a little bare bones. However, it's very user-friendly. I would say that out of all the tablets, computers, different various computing devices that I've used, this system here, WebOS itself, the operating system, probably operates as easily as any other device I've ever used, and probably easier than any other device that I've ever used. From the home screen, you'll see that you have a like a taskbar up here, or not a taskbar, but a button up here for searching, and you can actually just type in whatever you're looking for. So you might be looking for, let's say, mail. You type that in, and it'll bring up some different options here. You'll get like new email, new memo, just different things that would start with M, A, or whatever. You can go through all, or you can go through contacts, content, actions, and that'll actually bring it all up. Now, if you use the swipe function, that'll actually just erase the screen. this is very similar in some ways to the Android operating system, but it is a little bit different. Down here at the bottom you do have a toolbar which has different buttons here that you can use for quick access to different options. I haven't set this up myself. This is what comes custom out of the box, what comes laid out automatically. As you see, you have the globe here, which would be basically the internet, mail, calendar, like two little bubbles, which is for chatting, or I believe it would be for like a Twitter client, something like that. This does have a welcome screen. I haven't set it up, but it gives you the option to set up for AIM, Google, Skype, Yahoo, and then find more. When you go ahead and swipe a task off of the screen, it'll bring up in a smaller box and then show you the background. And to get that away, you can either swipe up or you can actually just pull down and it bounces off the screen. Kind of a really nice feature. And if you're not familiar with WebOS, basically WebOS uses what's called like a card system. It'll bring up any of the different tasks that you open up, any of the different applications that you open up. When you go back to the main menu or you try to exit out of them, it'll bring it up in a card format. So you might open up one task here like this. I'll wait for it to go ahead and load and then show you what I'm talking about. And if you swipe up, it'll take it back to the home menu. So you open up another one. Let's open up the calendar app. The calendar app will come up. It'll give you options to set this up because I haven't set it up myself yet. And then if you swipe up, it has that. It'll also keep up the other application that you had up here. So you can actually you can switch between these very quickly, very easily, and you could open up multiple applications, and it'll allow you to really just kind of work through these different applications quickly. Very good for multitasking. That's the word I was kind of looking for there. So it's a really good system. I really enjoy WebOS itself. Now I think that the big question remains is whether or not WebOS will be a system that continues to be supported down the line. And I think there's a lot of, it's a valid question, but there's a lot of questions regarding that. Now, I will say this much. I like WebOS myself, and I think that it's actually a pretty decent operating system. I am worried a little bit about the functionality, or rather the support that it's going to receive down the line. However, if for some reason support for WebOS drops off, which HP is saying that they're not going to drop support for it, but really in order to continue to have support for an operating system, you have to have a large install base out there and something that makes it worthwhile for developers to continue to add applications to. If that does happen, if WebOS just drops off the face of the earth, it would be okay because they are working on bringing different operating systems like Android. Android right now is in the works of being ported to this device. So I haven't decided whether or not I'm going to go with Android and whether or not I'm going to install Android down the line. I guess it will just remain to be seen whether or not this operating system itself, WebOS, continues to be supported, continues to have more options added to it. Let's go ahead and go into the applications. Now, I will tell you that there is the app catalog that you can go to, much like the Android marketplace, much like Apple's marketplace. But where this thing lacks is in the amount of applications that are available to download. It does have a pretty decent amount of applications, but nothing near what Apple has with the iPhone, the iPad, and the iPod Touch, and nothing near what Android has with its marketplace. So with that being said, it's a little bit lacking in that department. However, there's still some good applications, and this is by no means an overview of the applications. This is just an overview of the operating system itself. So as you see, when I bring that up and I went down into the little arrow icon down here at the bottom, it brings up my application. Now you can switch between different screens where it has apps. This is the download tab, favorites, which I haven't set up any favorites, and then settings, which allows you to set up different options on this: accounts, backup, Bluetooth, date and time, device info, different things like that. Now, I would say overall, as far as the hardware is concerned, this is a very, very worthwhile purchase at $100. Even at $200, I couldn't pass this up because this does come with a 1.2 gigahertz processor. It's a Snapdragon dual core processor. The hardware itself is really well built. The only thing that this tablet actually lacks is a back-facing camera, in my opinion. And that's not a major deal breaker for me because, to be honest with you, I'm not typically shooting video with something like this. It's a little bit large to go around shooting video with. It does have the front-facing camera, which is nice for video chatting and things like that. But in terms of having the back-facing camera, it doesn't have that, so you can't, shoot in 720p or anything like that. However, this is a very well-built piece of hardware here, and I would say that if you can find this for a reasonable price, it's well worth the purchase. Overall, I've been pretty satisfied with it so far. I haven't had a lot of hands-on time with it, but I do like WebOS. I do like the functionality of the operating system itself, and I do like the fact that it's very easy to multitask on this device. If you're looking for a cheap, inexpensive tablet and you can find this for $200 or less, definitely pick it up. If not, they are talking about releasing another wave of these tablets at the same price point that they previously put these on sale for. The only issue is the fact that it looks like they're going to, and they are going to, make them available to employees first and foremost, and then whatever's left over, I would imagine they will bring out. So it's going to be very limited quantity, like 100,000 to 200,000 units. So you maybe want to take a look at that. In the future, if you'd like to see reviews on applications or anything like that, I can go ahead and do it, and I may do that on my own anyways. But as I said, this is a really nice tablet. Really happy to have been able to pick this up. At $500, it wasn't something I would have picked up. At $200 or even $300, I think that this has the hardware to be well worth the purchase. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment or send me a message. Thanks.